Hey, what's up, everyone? Well, obviously it's October, which is obviously Halloween Horror Fest month for me and all my videos and stuff. But obviously, I'm gonna take a little break from that for now and get one film review out of the way, which is obviously one that I anticipated for this year. Obviously, there's a bunch that I obviously haven't gotten to the bottom of, but there's one that I highly recommend seeing, and it's really good, and that is The Martian, based off the book or novel, I should say. I didn't actually read the novel, so I was a little bit worried, being that this was going to be like the Hunger Games, being that I highly recommend reading the novels on that one, and obviously there's the last one on the way, which is part 2 of the last Hunger Games movies that I'm still anticipating, and I probably will get a review on for that one. But anyway, let's cut the shit and get to the review on this film. Obviously, there's been a lot of tension building around this one, being that it's directed by Ridley Scott. So I was a little bit skeptical, being that obviously, yes, he directed the first Alien movie, which was great, but then he had a few speed bumps and misses here and there with obviously Prometheus, which I thought was not so great, being that it was supposed to be a prequel to the first two great films directed by Ridley himself and of course James Cameron, and then eventually it went downhill. And then of course they did the horrible Gods and Kings Exodus, starring Christian Bale, which was pretty much a pointless retelling of a film that's been done to death already about Moses, and everything. So I didn't know what to expect out of this one, and it looked okay. It had a lot of, a big line of stars like Matt Damon as the Martian character himself, who gets left behind, and of course you have Jeff Daniels, you have Jessica Chastain from Interstellar, who plays the older version of Murph, and yes, I know it's a weird coincidence that Matt Damon and Jessica Chastain are both in this film and Interstellar, and of course he plays a guy left behind and marooned on another planet. But believe me, people, stop comparing this film to that one. They're not comparable. They're two completely different movies. So, and anyway, back to my point. Yeah, you got a lot of big stars in this movie, and they're all very believable. And this film, I'll tell you one thing, it definitely exceeds expectations. It delivers. And yes, it's a little over 2 hours, but trust me, it's a really fun time. I mean, in my opinion, no, you do not have to read the book, but I felt like I should have, even though it would have spoiled it. But trust me, it's very easy to follow. Story goes, and yes, there's going to be some spoilers in this, so be aware. They're not going to be major, but somewhat to moderate spoilers. But yes, Matt Damon's character, obviously, him and a bunch of other astronaut crew members are on Mars, I guess, researching and doing all sorts of science experiments. And yes, it is a little bit of science fiction because, obviously in real life, there hasn't been a manned mission to Mars yet, at least not with that many people. I mean, that would be a multi-billion-dollar project right there. But yes, obviously they're on Mars, and a big storm comes in much quicker than expected, and well, they're forced to leave, and they accidentally abandon Matt Damon's character and are in space. And little do you know, well, he's alive and, well, somewhat injured, pinned with a piece of science equipment. And what does he have to do? As the trailer shows, he has to science the shit out of everything to keep himself alive and await a rescue mission to rescue him against all odds and obstacles. And yes, that's pretty much the film plot right there. Yes, there's a lot of sciencey stuff in this film, but no, it's not too hard to follow. I mean, yeah, I know, with the whole botany stuff with him planting potatoes, and it's all very well drawn out, and it's very well paced at the beginning and middle of it, and it's a lot of scenes that are shot on Mars, and it's very well camera shot. I mean, yes, it's obviously in real life, it's probably in the desert somewhere. I don't know where exactly. And then, of course, it, on occasion it goes back to Earth with all the guys receiving the distress calls and figuring out how they're going to rescue him, or, well, at first they're going to send him food and everything and try to keep him alive, and then it shifts back to the spaceship, which obviously was the people that he was with, and it's all done very well, and the characters are all very well likable, and Matt Damon's character especially, he plays the part so well. I mean, a lot of people compared this film already to Castaway, and that it's a mix between Castaway and Apollo 13, because it's about a sole surviving character who has to keep himself alive and go against all odds and obstacles, and a lot of things can go wrong, like his space helmet can come open, or his oxygen supply or food supply can run out, and it's because nobody's ever been on Mars before and nobody's ever planted stuff, and this is a big step for humanity right here. I mean, and it's all very well done. I mean, like I said, it's 2.5 hours long, but let me tell you, it's 2.5 hours well spent. And yeah, you got the disco music thrown in there that he doesn't like, and yeah, it's obviously played during the course of the film, and a lot of old 60s, 70s music. And in the last 30 minutes of it especially, it really keeps you on edge. I mean, that's where I was like really glued to it, and man, I don't think I felt this way before about any space movie, even more than the film Gravity that came out 2 years ago. I mean, not to insult that movie, but this film, whew, it really just exceeded expectations by far. So even if you haven't read the book, like I said, it's very well done. It's easy to follow and easy to understand, and like I said, very good acting, very well done. The choreography is great. It's just exceeds all expectations for what a manned mission could do. It beats the odds and sciences the shit out of everything, like Matt Damon would say. Yes, there's some language in the film and a brief nudity scene, but trust me, it's well worth it. The mission to Mars is one thing you do not want to miss. Ridley Scott, well done, my friends. And as for 3D, yeah, really, does it have to be in 3D? I mean, I'm probably wrong, but I think I made the wise choice of sitting out on the 3D version. So, yeah, I mean, it's a novel-based movie. Don't we get enough 3D nowadays? And I know I sound like a broken record with this whole 3D nonsense, but it's ridiculously a cash grab. So, let me know what you think. But otherwise, great film. So, my opinion, it's worthy of a rockin' weird 2 ear emotes with Wii Motion Pluses up. Believe me, it's that good. So, till next time, keep watching.